Stay away from the fire.
When you were a kid, did you have dreams of being a badass ninja, slinking around, being all assassiny, stabbing people, blowing people up, doing all that sweet-ass ninja stuff? Well, who didn't? It's kind of an awesome idea. Well, in 2013, along came a game called Warframe, which is a game about being a badass cyberspace ninja wielding a flaming katana. And if being a katana-wielding space ninja flying around killing all sorts of crazy aliens sounds fucking awesome, it should, because that's fucking awesome. Warframe is a co-op multiplayer shooter brawler hybrid thing in which you take on the role of a Tenno, ancient space warriors who had fought space battles against space aliens. Tenno really is just one of those haughty sci-fi words for space ninja, because that's basically what you are. Tenno utilize various weapons to take down enemies, from melee weapons like katanas to ranged weapons like pistols or kukuris. It's kuranai, I think. It's kuranai. It's the little daggers with the big ring, and you throw them, and it's like, oh no, in my face! All the way up to various heavy weapons like assault rifles or bows. And their most powerful item, the Warframe, a sort of power armor that gives the user special abilities and traits, which make them much more effective in combat. You utilize these tools either alone or with up to 3 friends to go on various missions throughout the galaxy, fight various threats to humanity and safety and people and happiness, using your various tools of destruction to obliterate them. At the center of Warframe, of course, is its combat. And the combat is pretty actually fun. It's very fluid and involves a lot of motion. Moving around and dodging around is pretty satisfying. You're very quick and powerful. From sliding to wall running, you've got a lot at your disposal in order to take down enemies. You can also approach segments with stealth and assassinate your way through the enemy horde without anybody noticing. More ninja-like of you, of course. The only thing I really don't like about Warframe's combat is with any game with this kind of setup, enemies are eventually going to become kind of bullet spongy. There's a lot of even regular enemies that take a lot of fire to bring down, and when I'm having to load like 2 clips into something to bring it down, it doesn't feel very satisfying all of a sudden. I wound up using as much stealth as I possibly could, simply to avoid firefights with heavier, chunkier enemies that took a lot of ammo to take down. When placed together, the whole system feels a lot like Destiny, just like a lot better than Destiny. Like a better Destiny that came out a year before Destiny, but it's still a better Destiny. Most of the gameplay takes place in these self-contained missions, which you can fly to from your little ship, or from a big social space like a relay, and involve you killing enemies, capturing points, hacking systems, downloading data, doing all sorts of crazy objectives based on what mission you're going after. The missions themselves take place on some pretty interesting maps, with every sci-fi trope covered, from sandblasted Martian wilderness to creepy infested alien spaceships. One other thing I'll say about the levels, and really about everything in this game, is that it looks gorgeous. For a free-to-play title, Warframe is beautiful. The levels are very detailed and complex. There's a lot going on. It's not empty rooms. There's a very real feeling to everything. The Warframes as well look fantastic. There is an amazing art team behind this game, and they put together a really stellar-looking experience. The objectives themselves share a lot of this variation, from standard assassination missions to point holding to capturing specific items or enemy units. There's a lot to do here, although I feel like with the game's architecture, this could eventually become pretty samey. There's also a pretty solid variation in the enemies you'll be facing along the way. There's various factions you'll encounter, like the Grineer, which are your standard alien space grunts in huge heavy power armor, to the Corpus, who are an advanced technological megacorporation, to the Infested, who are your fairly standard, horrifying space zombies. Sometimes you'll encounter different variations of these factions working together to bring you down, which can create some more horrifying enemy combinations, as suddenly the heavily power-armored Grineer Marines also have shields. These missions reward you with resources and credits, which can be used to buy and construct new weapons, and mods to upgrade them. And of course, experience points, as everything in the game, from your smallest sword to your biggest gun to your most awesome Warframe, can be leveled up to improve its power. To go along with the enemy variation, there's a lot of variation in how you approach the game too, with tons of weapons and Warframes to customize how you engage your opponents. There's a lot of variety in how you play this game. And last, we come to the most important part, the free-to-play system within the game. Warframe's free-to-play system runs on Platinum, which is your currency for buying things off the Warframe market. Now, you can buy mostly everything in the game with this, whether it's a new Warframe or a new weapon. So some weapons are EXP locked. You have to be of a certain level to utilize them. Now, Warframes generally aren't tiered. There's no more powerful version of a Warframe. They're all just basically a different set of special abilities and traits. So it's not like you're buying power through this system. You're just buying how you want to play your character, which I guess is okay. It's more reminiscent of buying a champion in League of Legends than buying, say, a better tier of unit. One thing that does irk me about the free-to-play system with Warframe, though, is that the free-to-play players are only given 2 Warframe slots initially, therefore can only hold 2 Warframe suits. When you get to higher levels, you might want the flexibility to move around to different suit types and different ability sets. So that might seem a little bit limiting, considering that you have to put money in to get that. Mind you, at higher levels, players do tend to trade for plat, so you can get to the point where you can trade for platinum and get some without paying money in, but somewhere along the line, someone had to pay that money in. It's not like you're getting it literally for free off the system. Somebody bought that plat that you're trading for. It's not perfect, but it's a solid system. You are able to earn every single item in the game without paying any real in-game money. The only really worrisome thing are the number of slots for holding those items, which are bought exclusively with plat, which is the pay currency. To sum everything up, though, Warframe is a pretty solid offering. There's a lot to do in this game. There's a lot to unlock, there's a lot to work towards. It even has a competitive multiplayer mode, which is fairly balanced, but the game does put an emphasis on cooperative gameplay. It is gorgeous, and it's a good time. If you enjoy being ninjas, slicing people's arms off, being a badass, stealthy badass, then it's definitely the game for you. I would recommend checking it out. Hey, thank you very much for checking out my video on Warframe. It's a game that I actually passed a long time ago, and a lot of you guys have been requesting that I take a look at it, and I'm kind of really glad that I did, because I'm having a shit ton of fun with this game. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for suggesting it, because I'm having a great time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, it would be really huge boost to my channel if you like and subscribe. It always supports, and it's always awesome of you guys. And if you have anything to say, I love to talk to you guys in the comments as much as I can. Although it's getting harder and harder, I still love to try and get in there and talk to you guys. But thank you very much again for watching, and you have a great one.